Everybody, it's Harry Boxer, the technical trader. Thursday, December 3rd. These are the charts of the day. I have some limited time tonight, so I want to get through this as quickly as possible. Starting off on the short side, we want to review some of the shorts we talked about a few days ago. CYOU, CYOU, a Chinese multimedia and graphics software company that had a huge run earlier in the year from 19 up to 48, formed a top pattern, broke down, has bounced back and forth, but unable to get back up through resistance, which right now appears to be in about the 35.25 area. And over the last few days has rolled over, or beginning to roll over. Now support down here around the 29 level, if broken, could lead to a quick slide down towards that 24.5 zone, and that's what we'd be looking for CYOU if it continues the downtrend that it's in right now. Next is ESI, that's ITT Educational Services, which, as you can see, broke the major rising 18-month channel. Came down hard, bounced, formed a bear flag, and over the last couple of days it slipped today down 287, breaking to beneath the July low to a new 11-month low, and certainly looks like it has downside potential. My target something in the mid-60s potentially. That's about 20 points from here, so could be interesting. Another Chinese stock that's looking weaker is Fukui International. Had a big run, ran from 330 to nearly tenfold to 32.68. Topped out, came down hard in October, bounced around, formed the bear flag. As you know, we were in it and got stopped out on this spike up, barely, and then it collapsed. Bounced around for a few days, but I think that the overall structure here is a bear flag developing right in this range, beneath the declining tops line and moving averages and lateral price resistance, or the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, and certainly more downside is possible, while longer or an immediate term to a longer term goal is in the 12-13 zone potentially. GT current portfolio position has been spending the last month bouncing up and failing and backing and filling now, kind of coiling to an apex of a bear wedge. Technicals have barely bounced, and this thing looks like it could roll over and get slammed down towards that 10.5 range, my next trading target. Navistar current portfolio position is in the downtrend since it double, triple topped up in this 48 zone. Came down, bounced, and then made lower lows, formed a bear wedge, and broke out of that to the downside. Tried to snap back, failed at the bear declining tops line. Look at the underlying technicals. Bouncing along the lows and barely able to move. This is a very weak stock, and I expect this one to be a $26, $7 stock sometime shortly, perhaps. Nuva, another stock that we were long in that stopped us out barely when it broke through here, then formed a little flag and then rolled over very hard from 40.5 down to 30.5. 10-point drop, snapped back sharply, failed at the prior low, and then came down hard, bounced. Today was a loss of 208. Very, very negative technicals, rolling over hard. May even get down to retest a low of 24.5 range. That's my target. And VEC, after a long uptrend, also rolled over, broke its head and shoulders top, came down hard, bounced to the trend line, and is rolling over now. Underlying technicals again very weak. The goal in this one is if it breaks this lateral support line, we could see something down in the mid-20s. PDA, which is a Brazilian food company, meat products company, ran from 21 to 57 over the course of the March-October period, but after forming a head, shoulder, and head and left shoulder, came down hard to the neckline and is tried to bounce. But look at its action in the last couple weeks. Barely able to get back to the 49.9.5 area where moving average important moving average resistance lies. Today dropped 81 cents and is pressing on the 46.70 support line that, if broken, would complete a topping formation and potentially get this down into starting to, to the low 40s, then the high 30s, mid 30s, etc. But that certainly looks weak. Polycom current portfolio position with the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder is sitting right on the neckline and could collapse at any moment. Down 36 cents today. A move under 21 could trigger more selling. My target on this is around 17. Beneath that, if it does a full circle move, at least 14.5, 15 is potentially doable in my opinion. Pool Corp, another current portfolio position, broke the trend line, formed the bear wedge. Bear flag in here failed right at the declining moving averages and lateral price resistance. Rolled over hard, bounced, and then today down to 50 cents, pressing the lows for the last 4 months. Does not look good. And lastly, in the short section is WMS, also forming a left shoulder head, right shoulder topping type pattern, down 85 cents today, pressing the neckline. Potentially looking at, there is some support, by the way, at 35.5, which we suspect may get tested soon. If that fails, you're looking at $28. That's the target on that one. Just a few longs I want to point out today is RMBS, which had a very successful break across this major 1 year tops area. Surged on heavy volume and broke out today with a gain of $1.65 in a very negative market. If the market does not fall apart and resurrects itself, I'm looking for a move that takes RMBS up to test the 26.5 zone on a short-term trade. ERII broke out of a major declining tops line and out of a wedge pattern. Big price volume surge, breakaway gap, closing decently up 65 cents or 11.4% on 2 million shares. And by the way, the 2 million shares is the heaviest volume at 5 months. Next target, 740. Beyond that, 8 3/4 is the target. VISN, after a beautiful 1 year base, broke out, formed a 6-week, 2-month type of flag. But check out the low volume ebb right here, and the narrow trading range right at the moving averages. Popped, paused, and exploded today, $1.18, or about 12% on 1.5 million shares, and that's the heaviest volume in about 6 weeks. Lastly is TPI, Chinese pharmaceutical firm, which had a significant pop out of its trading range. The only problem here is that it's backed substantially off its 485 high and closed at 424. Still up 50 cents or 13.3% on heavy volume of almost 5 million shares. That's significant, but there's a possibility also that this is a false break. We'll see if there's a breakout follow through, and that's the key. That's it for tonight. I will talk to you over the weekend. Bye-bye. Again, everybody, it's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. Thursday, December 3rd. These are the charts.